team. Then they went more traditional. Makes you wonder what exactly they are right now.
Well, I think they're a little bit of both, and obviously they start with a more traditional unit, the two bigs. But you will see small ball. There's no question with Paul George at the 4.
DeRozan feeds Valanciunas inside, and he gets the first field goal.
And
Has to garner some votes for Coach of the Year.
Well, I think the job he has done, the job Terry Stotts has done, Greg Popovich, you can go down the list. Steve Kerr.
Paul George knocks down his first field during that last break. That was a foul against Mahinmi, his second. Ellis with a nice dime inside for the bucket to Allen.
That starts with the 2-on-1 opportunity.
Here's George Hill shooting a career high from downtown this year, and on cue,
The rim.
it wasn't pretty, but Luis Scola gets on the board. And Powell is motioning to Dwayne Casey for someone to take him out of the game. He looks very immobile right now, and Ellis took advantage of it.
Well, Ellis saw
As Mac Biombo, Corey Joseph, DeMar Carroll, and rookie Norman Powell all helped Toronto become a top 11 defensive team.
are not getting to their game at this point. Are they mature? Can they keep working?
Lowry for 3, and he's finally up. And Solomon Hill, who's been shooting the ball well. Little isolation for Valanciunas.
Love it.
But George took it back and scores the bucket. Paul George, look go in the first quarter. A physically played first quarter. Lawson with the step back, and man, that was a good. We also have some great players that come off the bench. That raised a few eyebrows. The underlying thinking and feeling by the Pacers that the Raptors might be a little bit of a softer 2 seed. Here's Stuckey, tipped up and in by. Pacers with a chance to cut this lead to 1. Hill with a nice show and go. Good feed to Stuckey inside for the bucket.
Well, that's CJ.
Streaky shooter at times. Here's Corey Joseph. Joseph, boy, he got the free pass all the way to the. Tied at 26 in game 1 in the second quarter.
Talking about the small lineup here for the Pacers. You got C.J. Miles at the 4. 5
on the shot clock. Joseph hits the 3. Job, especially at the defensive end. Nice feed inside to Joseph. Lowry with the board. Patterson. Yes! Timeout. The Pacers clear. Ellis back the other way. Hill with the floater, got it to fall. Floater, 3-on-2 the other way. Lowry, Patterson. Still ice cold shooting the basketball, now 1 of 8. And C.J. Miles finishing at the other end. They're not limping into the playoffs like they were a season ago when they were 13-16 after the All-Star break. They were 21-9 after the All-Star break this year. Ellis from downtown. Steal, great save to Ellis. Ellis on the 3-on-2, blocked by Biombo, but put back in by Hill. And went into a lot of traffic and lost the handle. George for 3, and a good start in the third. And Powell back the other way. It's a 3-on-2 for Toronto. And Powell converts. Blocked by Valanciunas. Another 3-on-2. Powell makes a tough shot. Wow! It's a full court 3-on-2 drill. Scola! Blockout by Turner on Valanciunas, keeping him off the boards. George looking for the contact, made the bucket anyway. Lowry who backs it out. Goes downhill, finds Valanciunas. Oh, he punches it. And you'll see Detroit against Cleveland tomorrow on ABC. Stan Van Gundy, the coach of the Pistons, as George knocks down the baseline jumper, says,
regardless of their performance in this postseason, Dwayne is safe. So stability at the top. And the message is to the players, don't point fingers. We're in this together. And they better make sure they're in this together over this final 15.
Paul George getting ready to come into the game for Toronto. George got the switch, working against Corey Joseph here. That's advantage Pacers. A wide open 3, and George knocks it down. He's starting to heat up. 14 points in the third quarter for Paul George. Amari Carroll drive and kick. DeRozan with a long two. Carroll with the board. DeRozan punches it home. George with the steal. And he slams it home. A 6-20. Third quarter points. Ten on the shot clock. Good defense by the Pacers. George forces a tough turnaround. Clears. DeRozan on the bench for Toronto. And Valanciunas now gets up, getting ready to check in. Joseph up top for Biyombo. Great pass. A strong pull by Biyombo. Lowry. Ross open for three. Got it! Couple of rebounds. Tied at 76. George isolated against DeRozan. He had 17 in that hot third quarter. Forced to pass to Stuckey, and he drills to here. We think we match up well with the Raptors. DeRozan drives it. Gets the tough layup to fall. Back in August of 2014. George for three, launches, got it! Wet! Paul George makes it a...
How you're playing with Terrence Ross, hoping he can get started.
Valanciunas getting ready to come back for the Raptors. Here's Paul George again. Biyombo with good help defense, didn't matter.
And
you said it, Paul George welcoming the heat. Dial his number again. ISO'd against Patterson on the wing. George to Turner, the rookie, who finishes on the sweet pick and roll. Ready to provide a little support for this playoff run for him and the Pacers.
Amari Carroll checks back in to deal. This is why you acquire him, right? To guard these elite wings.
Another good pass by George for an easy, turns it over. Ellis on the push. Dropped it off for George. A little showdown here against Amari Carroll, their elite defender. And George put him on ice. Deep freeze, an 8-point Pacer lead. Professional villain. Under 2 minutes to go. Pacers with the ball in control. Paul George has been the story of the second half for the Pacers, and Monte Ellis giving his... Lowry that vowed that this would never happen again. They talked to their teammates in the locker room. But now the Raptors, barring a miraculous comeback, are going to lose their 7th consecutive playoff game, dating back a couple of playoff seasons. George from the baseline, got it! An appropriate